I first pitched this film a year ago. It was May 3rd, and I had an 11 a.m. slot. I was nervous the entire week leading up to it. I went into the pitch, and what I pitched is actually a lot of what you're probably seeing in the film today. Uh, the beginning and the end were pretty much the same. Biggest differences were probably the location of the characters, um, the ages that they would be going through. We actually had a teenage David at one point. Um, and also the details were a lot different. We now had what Harold's job would be, what David's hobbies would be, where the mother is. I didn't have a mother in the original pitch, but adding her in really helped us with flesh out the characters.
With David's character design, it was very important for me to capture the character that Caleb had described and envisioned. David Blake is an energetic child. He's hopeful, he's playful and innocent. And we discussed shape language. We wanted him to be similar to the shape of a pawn piece. That's why he has more of a rounder appeal, and he has more of a rounder head that's a little bigger than the rest of his body. With Harold, it was pretty much the opposite of David. He is hardworking and focused. He does not get distracted, and he's a workaholic. We wanted him to look similar to a king piece, which is really what inspired his design and the well-groomed look that he has.
When designing the environments for the film The King of the Pawn, we wanted to make sure that the environments always helped to convey our story. We had two realities to design for, the real world and the chess world. And for the real world, we wanted to make sure that stayed familiar with our audience, but also communicated who owned the house at the time. So we have Harold's house. Whenever David is a child, he lives there. And then we have David's house, which is the house that he owns once he becomes an adult and has a family of his own. And so Harold has a more neutral color palette with much more geometric and hard-edged modeling done. Because he's more of a businessman, he's a little bit more serious, and that helped convey that aspect of his character. Whereas David's house is a lot more colorful, it's a lot more round, and it kind of shows that he was always that carefree kid that we see in the film.
Being the head of layout and a story artist in the film, I was in a unique opportunity to kind of creatively explore and develop the chess world beyond the normal lengths and extent of reality. Because as the film progressed, we realized we wanted the film to go in the direction of where the chess world and death world sequences were a physical manifestation of David's relationship with his father Harold through the common way they were able to connect, which was chess. They wanted the chess world to show that it's more than just an environment. It's more than just taking these pieces that I made and we put in the house and just enlarged them. I wanted it to be its own world, and I wanted it to really be something that was David. And so without David, the chess world doesn't exist, and without his dad, the connection and the chess world that he knows and loves doesn't exist.
The King and the Pawn is a story about the relationship between a father and son. We had no dialogue, so we had to convey everything through emotion and body language. David had to be this young, energetic kid who gets excited when he's having fun in that relationship and gets sad when he isn't, appropriately. Harold was a challenge because we had to make him both somewhat dismissive, yet still caring. Everyone on the team knew that this was a crucial factor in selling his character to anybody. Our team did an amazing job telling a complicated story like this visually. If there's anything that I'm really proud of, it's that.
In setting out to do this film, I think we all knew that our main focus or job in telling this story was hitting those emotional beats with the relationship between our main character, David, and his dad, Harold. So whenever it comes to the lighting of this story, we really wanted to take the responsibility of injecting that emotional feeling. We want you to look at the colors and the lighting and the mood and the tone and immediately be able to see, oh my gosh, he looks so much sadder, or this just has a gloomy feel to it that that things have changed.
One of the biggest parts of this film, for me personally, would have to be the diversity of the characters. Harold and David Blake are both African Americans, like myself, and I think that race, as well as others, have been very underrepresented in animation. They have been portrayed negatively, stereotypically. In some cases, they're portrayed positively, but then for most of the film, they turn into animals, and that's how they're seen, and that's how they're left off. I'm glad this film did not do that at all. No offense to the quality of some of those films, but I think it was very nice cherry on top to be able to have representation just for representation's sake in this film. And I think it did more positive than if we were to not have done it at all. And I'm glad that it actually brought a lot of people to the film, people on the team, maybe even the audience. I think that's something that's very powerful in this film, even if not said explicitly in the film. This film was actually saved by the addition of new crew members. Um, there was another film, Daybreak, that is amazing, had the best art. They decided to go a different direction to production, and they joined our team. And it was at a moment where we were just not doing well. Luck really came into our favor there, and this team and their amazing talent helped us get through. They helped us with rigging, helped us with animation, layouts when it came down to it, and they really helped push us over the edge. And I really hope and can't wait to see their skills come together within their group and to create Daybreak, which was an amazing film. I don't know what title it's gonna have when they actually create it, but if you guys like King of the Pond, you're gonna see some amazing stuff with their film as well. There are a lot of lessons that the audience can take away from this film. The importance of hard work, celebration of the diversity of characters, the connection between parent and child, or even celebrating a cool board game that you can play when the power is out. But I think that the lesson that I take away the most is making the best of what you have. Honestly, I think that's a lesson that the audience can take away from the film, because that's definitely something that we learned while creating the film. We didn't always have the most amount of time. We didn't have the most ideal circumstances. We didn't have unlimited resources. We didn't have the most experience. We didn't have the perfect director. But we had passion, we had motivation, and we had hope. Hope that we'd be able to impact our audience positively. Hope that we'd be able to share our talents with the world. Hope that we'd be able to make a finished product. Actually, we were told many times that we weren't going to finish this film. But through hard work, through our motivation and passion, we did. To the quality, that's up to you guys. But I'm proud of what we created, and I'm proud of my teammates.